Good morning. We begin with a developing story, and one key detail right up front. This shooting does not appear to be random. Now, to a separate and concerning national security development. The U.S. government is taking action against individuals with alleged ties to Iran's ruling establishment. Among them, family members connected to high-ranking officials, including relatives of General Qasem Soleimani. Some of these individuals had been living in the United States for years, one even working as a university professor. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says their legal residency status has now been terminated. They are currently in the custody of immigration authorities, pending removal from the country. According to federal officials, the concern goes beyond just a few cases. One Iranian activist, speaking to the New York Post, claims she has spent years gathering information on individuals inside the U.S. with alleged ties to Tehran, sharing that intelligence with federal agencies. She warns there could be thousands more, some potentially operating as so-called sleeper cells. That raises a difficult question. How significant is the threat? Joining us now, Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, we're just learning about some of these individuals. How concerned should Americans be? This is something that needs to be taken seriously. It could represent a real threat, and the challenge is, we simply don't know the full scope. If individuals with known connections were able to enter and remain in the country, it raises broader concerns about who else may be here under the radar. Secretary Rubio made the point clearly: living in the United States is a privilege. So the question becomes, how did this happen, and how do we prevent it moving forward? Back to you. Another activist is now alleging that some individuals may be attempting to influence policy or gain access to sensitive technology, claims that, if proven, would elevate this to a national security issue. So again, the question becomes, were the safeguards strong enough in the first place? Jonathan continued. That's exactly the issue. We don't yet know all the specifics, but it does point to potential gaps in the vetting process. If someone is on a path toward citizenship, there has to be clear loyalty to the United States. No ambiguity there. There's also a broader policy debate here, how different administrations approach immigration, security, and enforcement. But regardless of politics, the underlying concern remains the same: identifying risks before they become threats. And that brings us to the bigger picture. Are authorities being proactive, not just reacting, but actively reviewing who has been granted residency? Are they reassessing potential foreign ties that could pose risks? Jonathan, final thought. There are signs that steps are being taken now, but prevention is always more effective than reaction. It's easier to stop a threat from entering than to deal with it once it's already inside the country. And as we continue to follow this story, one thing is clear. This is about more than just a few individuals. It's about the systems in place and whether they're strong enough to keep the country safe.